Yeah, man.
Well, at this time, Kaithar is a recovering alcoholic barbarian wanderer. He's joining any group that will help him get money so he can keep on keeping on. Last thing Kaithar can remember um, was coming up on a big, ugly giant, sleep luckily, and doing so well on his stealth check, he hit his hammer on a big ass rock, dinging it. He's pissed about that, but also for the fact that he started waking up the sleeping giant, so he's excited about that. But what popped into his mind, he remembered this mother's lullaby the night before his camp was attacked and started to sing it. And he was doing very well. Until somebody decided to fucking chime in.
Uh, I'm Sigbert. I'm a human fighter um, in his mid 40s, weathered, obviously you know warrior that looks like he's trying to just go about his business and go from one job to the next. Um, what Sigbert remembers is being in this motley crew. Um, there was some type of disagreement um, that was resolved, and then we went about our day, and I watched these guys clumsily come upon this giant. Yeah, that's Sigbert.
Cool. I like it. Becky, thank you for being here early in the stream and letting me know that my audio was not coming through. Apparently, every time I update, OBS has an update, I have to manually reselect my microphone. So that's super frustrating. But we're good now, and you can hear me. So thank you for that shout out. Continuing on, Stover with Arthur.
Yeah, Arthur Struva.
There you go.
Yeah, he's from the University Castle in New Birmingham. He's fought in some pirate wars, being in the Navy, being an artilleryman. He's after a family heirloom after his wife passed away, and he's on the hunt for pretty much making sure his family has some kind of meaning once he finds what he's looking for. He's a level 6 gunslinger, and he was the cook for the group last time, cooking several squirrels. And other than that, I think he just got some kind of lantern that was also amongst the loot from a couple sessions ago. And now we're amongst these giants. So, and then this is following the horrible, like, demonic creature that we fought off of 2 sessions ago.
Yeah, love that. Love that. Uh, Joe, let's hear about Reed.
Let's see. Being tall with golden locks of hair and really having a lot of wits about him is definitely not how you would describe Reed. He sits about 5'8", average height, no hair, um, clum, dim, clumsy, dim, and big. Hitting things hard is how you would describe Reed. That's really what he likes to do. He is suffering a bit of temporary amnesia, and the last thing that Reed really remembers doing is brokering a sort of truce between Caithar and Simone. He had a chat with Simone over there, and we really kind of talked about trying to keep the peace and how people can be redeemed. They can redeem themselves more rather. Um, and Reed said something that brought a small tear to Simone's eye. And Simone didn't exactly forgive Kythar, but he was willing to accept him back in possible redemption later on. And then he got hit really hard by a giant and kind of forgot how he even got in the fight with a giant in the first place. And that's Reed.
Which brings us to Simone, who I'm curious if his recanting of that conversation will mirror Reed's or not. Simone.
Hi, I play Simone. He is a totally normal elf with no eccentric qualities whatsoever. He is very dull and, does not talk a lot during the game. And from what I remember, we essentially, I was talked down by Reed and Monzo. And whenever Simone was by himself, he kind of had a heart-to-heart with Reed, but then Monzo was also kind of listening in the bushes.
I think Monzo was in stealth.
Yeah. And then we, like Stover said, we kind of he cooked us up some rabbits, and then we kept walking, or we kept continuing on our trail, and we got to a point where one of the giants took 2 of our horses, I believe, and we just let them go.
Yep.
We were just like, hey, take the horses. We doubled up on horseback, and then that's when we got to the predicament where we saw the sleeping giant, and that's where Kythar then banged his hammer, and then tried to sing it back to sleep. And then who else? I can't remember who else.
That was me.
Reed.
That
Okay.
was me. I remember now.
There you go. Reed decided to completely fuck up.
Try to come in with the
in my
harmony,
defense,
and
I've
it
never
was
heard the
not
lullaby
a
before.
harmony.
Well,
And-
it didn't help. You didn't know the fucking words too. Like I said, it was a lullaby by my mother.
I didn't have a mom, okay?
And we essentially left off. I don't know if we got to initiative necessarily.
No, you guys hadn't rolled initiative because it hadn't. You are not locked in combat, therefore I did not have you roll initiative.
Yeah.
So.
We're not in combat.
But not
yet.
presently, not presently. But you more than likely will be. But it's a D&D game. Who knows? So I love that, Simone. Let's hear about your buddy. I know he's not here right now, but just super briefly.
Simone, your pet.
Oh, Wilb, sorry. Yeah, and also Wilb, who is my Eidolon, since I'm a summoner, who is a part cat. He also has 2 heads. One of them is named Will, and the other one's a snake named Bill. So he is a combination of Wilb.
I just didn't want us to be referring to Wilb and have him not be brought up at the beginning here. Aaron,
Makes
let's hear
sense.
about Monzo.
So Monzo, he's early 30s, late 20s. He's a level 6 monk. He's wearing, looks like homemade rough spun kimono, leather underneath. He has all kinds of knickknacks in his hand. Right now is a jar of these stinky mushrooms. Nobody knows what they do, but we're still snacking on them. He's traveling Valmina with these guys. And from the last couple hours, I guess, we ran away from a manta drake that was following a Tesk. There's more coming. We know that. We don't know exactly why, other than a Tesk fled a school, and they're trying to get him back. We fought that off. We went to sleep. We were woken up by a big storm, pouring rain. We found a little place to hide under a rock overhang, but then about midway through the night, we started hearing like thunderclaps. And I think it was Reed and Kythar that were on guard, and they looked out and they saw these giants that were, I think, fighting, and rocks, way out in the distance. They were huge, but we could, you see them hit, and then a few seconds later, you'd hear the thunderclap. See, we still got most of a night of sleep. I think we got a whole night of sleep though. Um, and then, yeah, our horses got taken, or our ponies got taken, and then we woke up this one, or about to.
Cool. And that brings us to Tyler playing a task. Last but not least.
Yeah, Tesk is an elf from the College of Arcane Arts who escaped, as Aaron was alluding to, which caused that monster to attack us, trying to take a Tesk back. He's a elf sorcerer, just wearing, regular crappy sorcerer gear, which would be like robes and.
Crappy? Don't you have an enchanted
Oh yeah, I
robe?
do. No, I don't. But I do have a cool crown that lets me blow people up. Otherwise, just regular rogue shoes. It's got a dagger, crossbow as well. And yeah, I don't. Tyler, the person, doesn't remember exactly what we did last time, but everybody else has described it really well, apparently. So I don't need to add to it.
Apparently.
Not fair. That's not fair.
Wait,
I-
do you remember what you received from Kythar?
Oh yeah, yes, thank you. Kythar gave
If
me
you don't want it, I'll take it back. Kythar doesn't have to have it back.
ring of protection.
I don't
plus
see him
one,
wearing it right now. I mean,
as a peace offering to the fact that he, may have tried to leave me for dead.
it was an accident. We got over it. It's in the past.
Just
Let's go.
yeah, it's in the past. It's fine. But now I have a +1 ring of protection
Is that
because
an assault I hear?
he's so nice. And yeah, anything specific to my character other than it's the cause of the whole attack that
Yeah.
Yeah, guys,
repercussions.
remember, it's his fault. Everything happened. It's his fault.
Could you remind us how Atesk felt about Zoto's comments? And
Kythar's?
and Kythar's comments, and how he feels about the group.
Yeah, Teska was generally pretty happy that the group wasn't mad at him when the thing attacked us. But he didn't really appreciate being called weak, and that he just let him die. Definitely wasn't great, but Teska's got a kind heart and can forgive, so he's decided to take the higher ground, I guess. I don't know.
Higher ground? Like
Okay,
Obi-Wan?
sure.
The high
Just
road.
like,
High ground. Don't
yeah.
do it, Daddy.
like Obi-Wan, the high ground. Oh, yeah.
Sounds great to me, guys. Thank you for humoring me with your character introductions. I am going to set the scene here for y'all. You guys ended up camping for the night and having this heart-to-heart conversation, as a lot of you guys discussed, between Reed and Simone, with Monzo overhearing, and this is where Arthur did his hunting and his cooking. You guys have been on the road for the better part of a week now. You've encountered multiple hurdles and obstacles on your way, most of them pertaining to a band of orcs who were led by an individual whose journal you recovered, and you learned a little bit about his backstory and why they were there. Ultimately, you guys are seeking an artifact which your wizard pal Cade from Edgetown gave you a lead on, and said that it was, intertwined with the shield which Reed is wielding, which you guys have carried in from the now scorched, melted remains of the town of Irrigan. And you got through the safe territory, you got through the forest, you got through this gatehouse with the orcs, and now you are descending through the Crooked Pass down into the seaside region that you know to be the territory of Amazru the Saltwing. In this process, you guys are traveling through known giant territory. And as you discussed, you've already encountered one of these brutish oafs who waltzed off with a pair of your horses. When you guys were traveling on your road shortly after lunch, about 2 p.m., on one of the last days of spring, the days are beginning to heat up, which has made this journey through this mountainous pass possible. There was a sleeping giant snoring, totally unconscious, smelling strongly of some kind of rank, fermented fluid of some kind, a large barrel of it laying just out of reach. You guys all crouched down and attempted to sneak past this giant as quietly as possible, and as Kythar aptly put, he slammed his hammer accidentally into one of the nearby rocks, and it rang out loudly enough to stir this giant. In his attempt to lull it to sleep, he encouraged Reed somehow to, or encouraged might not be the right word. He inspired Reed to join in, and his boyish voice, still unbroken, was not able to carry the tune very well, despite and he didn't even know the words. So you guys are in marching order that is accurate to the map here. Fortunately, you had just started to sneak past because Kythar is so near the front of the line here. And now this stinking, hulking giant is stirring on the roadside, standing up, looking over at the two singers, Reed and Kythar, right here in the front, and is very slowly coming to. He hasn't said anything to you yet, but he is like standing up, getting up, looming over you guys while you're all perched there completely silently. Reed did whisper a harsh, "Nobody move!" Right as all of this is happening. But we're going to jump in this moment and give you all the opportunity to get back in the swing of D&D and react to this tumultuous time. As this giant begins to wake up, what would the rest of you like to do? Reed and Kythar have made their choice. What would the rest of you like to do as this scene unfolds in front of you?
If it looks like he's gonna get up, Ateska's gonna cast sleep on him.
How many hit dice does your sleep spell affect?
4.
Let me check something real quick. A Tesk would know that his sleep spell is nowhere near strong enough for this creature.
Atesk would not do any of that.
Would Monzo know if this creature is considered like a friend of the forest, or if it's just like an orc, like an evil side of things?
At a glance, no. But if you'd like to roll me a knowledge check of your choice, I will give you the relevant information.
Going to be 17.
Of what knowledge
Just
type?
knowledge. Let me see 1 second. I'll just do.
You can just take your wisdom modifier and just do a flat.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do flat.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a knowledge that I see.
You, with a final of 17, you know that that giants, they travel in small bands or they're solitary creatures, and that they're like centaurs are, like they make their homes in hills and forests and mountains, and like they have different territories. Like they are like inherently natural creatures, but they're also what you and I in the real world would consider to be like inbred to hell, and they're just so angry and stupid all the time. At least this kind in particular, these hill giants, and like the journal, you remember the journal entry that Simone read to you that said the hill giants are brutish and easily fooled, but the elemental giants are incredibly dangerous.
Okay. And we just got off our ponies, right? They're behind us. We just left them behind.
You
I
guys
know if
did
you
not
got taken.
yeah, you guys didn't resummon your ponies. I think Simone might have unsummoned them once you guys lost the two of them, and I think you guys were just walking. No, or you doubled up on ponies. I can't remember.
We doubled up.
You doubled up. Okay, so you still have them then, but yeah, you guys are walking them, sneaking them, doing whatever.
Okay. That's all Monzo's going to do for now.
Okay, great. Moving back, Atesk, Arthur, Sigbert, Simone.
I guess a task would stick close to Monzo and cast.
Yeah, with that on the phone,
Mage armor on myself.
Yeah.
Cool. That is an excellent use of this moment that I'm giving you before anything happens. Anybody, following along is okay too if you guys don't have anything in particular you'd like to do. I just want to give everybody the opportunity to respond before potentially shit hits the fan.
Gotcha. I'm gonna start summoning Will.
Cool.
So however long.
Yeah, you've got him down to like a 30-second summon or something, right?
Yeah.
That will pass.
Arthur's going to take cover behind the rock and get his rifle pretty much perched up, so that way he can take a properly aimed shot.
Please move your tile 5 feet in any direction. Which leaves Sigbert.
I'm just gonna, seeing him go behind the rock, I'm gonna kind of step forward, and then with basically my swords drawn.
Cool. Go ahead and move yourself
Kinda
5
ready.
feet in any direction in this moment that you're in this reactionary moment. And if you'd like to continue moving forward throughout dialogue, you will absolutely be able to do so. So everybody react. We've got two Jagoffs singing in the front of the party. Monzo has his brow furrowed and he's obviously concentrating very hard on something. Atesk steps up into Monzo's shadow and casts mage armor on himself. While Arthur steps back, Sigbert steps up, and Simone's eyes go blue. This giant begins to stir and says, "Ugly noises!" Which is ugly noises for any of you who can't understand that over the microphone distortion, and begins to charge the two singing individuals.
I do a barrel roll out of the way.
Reflex save. Reed?
Let's go.
You bet I'm following him.
25.
Reflex save.
Let me make sure. I think that's right. There it is.
And Joe, you got a little bit distorted. You went kind of robot-y.
That is a 23.
That is a great roll. Kythar?
I rolled. Yeah, I know. I rolled a 25.
25. Great. So this thing moves forward and with bare paws goes to snatch each of you with a hand big enough to easily grasp and pick up either of you. But you're both able to dodge out of the way. Kythar or Sigbert, are you continuing to move forward?
I went that way.
You can move your own figure.
Okay, no, you moved it. I just wanted to tell you.
He dodged right, I dodged left.
I'm gonna continue to move forward.
Okay, great. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna leave Discord and rejoin because you've all gone distorted for me. So give me a second.
So we weren't the problem.
No, apparently I'm the problem, but I don't know why because you're still all.
Maybe
distorted.
is it you think the video is probably taking away some of your bandwidth and messing up the?
I mean, no, because
audio?
it's never done that before. It's never been a problem. I mean, I can stop my virtual camera and turn off my. No, because I'm not even streaming to Discord.
Are we still distorted?
Yeah, you guys are still super distorted. 1 one sec. I'm going to close out Discord entirely. Technical difficulties. One moment. Becky, do they sound distorted to you, or do they sound normal to you? I know they're not talking right now, but oh my god, that's so frustrating.
Hey, Podrick.
Nothing happened. You guys were fine.
Podrick says hi.
I'm getting a little bit of sound breaks occasionally, but like you guys talk, say some stuff.
Hey, I'm saying some stuff.
I am also saying some
Time
stuff,
to
and
talk.
I'm having an argument with you. What? Why are you saying that? Oh my god.
I think we're breaking up.
It's a Golden Globe.
I couldn't believe you did that to me. Oh no.
I'm so invested.
No, they sound fine. I mean, if you're just distorted to me, I guess I can deal with it. You know what? It's probably my headset. Then give me a second.
I was gonna say I was gonna be dropping off Marissa in Madeira. I was gonna see if you guys wanted to get together for dinner or something.
Yeah, it was my headset.
Friday is our goddamn Valentine's Day night, dude. We got reservations.
Ooh.
Cool, just play a plus one.
You piece of... I can't do a +1 on our Valentine's Day dinner.
Just
All
call
right,
it
guys.
in, Soto.
All right, guys, I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Call it in.
You just take Soto instead, then, right?
Just okay. Megan's not invited, and we'll go out for dinner.
It was Mystery Solved. Mystery Solved. It was my headset.
Nice.
So local problem, very easily solved by restarting the headset. Okay, so Kythar has barrel rolled one way. Reed has barrel rolled the other. Sigbert is continuing to move forward, and the Hill Giant has turned towards Reed and says, bad ugly noise, and begins stomping towards Reed. Is there anything in particular?
Monzo wants to
anybody
yell
wants to
something.
do? Go ahead, Monzo.
While the hill is it Hill Giant? Is that
It's
the
Hill
right?
Giant, yeah.
The technical. While the Hill Giant stomps towards Reed, Monzo's gonna yell, "Big sir, big man, we alms sent us with a gift for you."
And he turns, looks at you, and stomps over and says, and holds out hand and says, "Give, fat man."
I'll point back at my pony.
And he looks over and he picks the horse up by its neck and is just like holding it, looking at it. And he turns and he looks at a Tex pony and picks that one up by the neck too. And then,
whatever one you want.
one like shake of his elbows, crack, crack, loud snaps, and both of these ponies just go limp, and then disappear because they're only a magical summon from Simone. And once there's no life in them, they disappear. And he looks down. He says, "Trick, trick!" And he goes to pick Monzo up.
Does Monzo poof as well?
No, but I'm imagining Monzo, with all of his dexterity, has something he'd like to do.
Yeah, Monzo will roll out of the way. Monzo didn't know that was going to be a trick, but pranks on him. Monzo will roll out of the way as well.
Reed's jaw just dropped when he snapped.
Oh!
Oh no!
Here we go.
Monzo attempts to roll out of the way, and he trips over a Tesk who is standing too close behind him. He goes to roll backward, and he bumps into a Tesk, and he knows that a Tesk has a strength score of 12, but he's not a huge guy. So he overcompensates and tries to not bowl a Tesk over, and in the process stumbles into the giant's grip, who picks him up and lifts him off the ground and is staring at Monzo. And I feel like now is probably a good time for everyone to roll initiative.
Oh,
Talking's
horse
always
is
free,
You
though.
got it.
Talking's always
we
free,
got
folks.
20 minutes in. We're already getting into fights. Let's see.
And I will remind you guys that just because you've rolled initiative does not mean the only solution is killing everything dead. Okay, so we have so far big a task up top.
Big a task.
Oh, damn it. The chat box doesn't stay open very long.
So do we want to try to kill this or talk it out of the situation? I think we can talk it out.
Yeah,
I
we
have a-
haven't attacked yet.
I have a swift action, David.
You will. That will it will depend on whether or not your initiative order is before the giant. We're going to say that is what is, because that's all. I gave everybody opportunities to do some stuff, and we just devolved here, which happens. It's not bad. Nobody did anything wrong. Monzo just has Monzo luck. That's just the way.
I feel like I did something wrong.
Simone is Simone, and we will say for the purposes of this that this interaction only took about 30 seconds, so you can start your combat with Will.
Oh, cool. Nice.
And, Sigbert at 9. Monzo. Oh man, and a shit initiative roll. Oh, that's at least you're getting them out of the way early,
Back
right,
to
bud? Oh, that's interesting.
Stop reading. Stop reading right now.
Okay. Wow.
Stop reading.
That's crazy. Okay.
Put Monzo down.
So
Stop reading, DM.
a Tesk does get to start us off, but since Reed was number 2 in initiative order, I'm just going to give you your turn in your initiative order, and you'll get a chance to do things before the bad guy goes anyway. So Tesk with Reed on deck. Let's go. Talking is always free. Just because you have a turn in combat does not mean you have to swing. You guys had out of character discussed trying to talk your way out of it, but you guys are not on that page in game yet. So please, talking is always free. A Test gets the first action.
A test. Why don't you fucking kill it, fool?
Tess is gonna try a diplomacy roll.
Okay.
On the giant as he sees Monzo get picked up, knowing that he is not as strong or durable as Monzo, and I'm sure the giant could probably crush Monzo into tiny little pieces right now. And Tess really doesn't have anything to help. So Tesk is going to say, like whoa, whoa, and like in a calming voice. He's trying to like not scream at him, not jostle him anymore. Guy just woke up. Like, give him a break. Like, whoa, we're just passing through. We're not here to fight you or anything. We just want to pass by and be on our way. We've got a little food if that'll help, but would you put our friend down?
Go ahead and roll your diplomacy.
Ooh.
19.
The giant, still holding Monzo, turns to you and says, "More food than Fat Man? Fat Man make good stew."
I don't, there's a lot of fat content, that I don't know if he would make a great stew. But we probably got, maybe something around here. Kind of like look around at everybody else.
Reed's nodding his head, like I'm grabbing my trail rations.
And he's pretty singularly focused on a task. And And Monzo, you're like catching this like super rancid fermented breath coming off of him. It's like a combination of morning breath, garbage, and methane. Like all of those things kind of like lumped into one, just like almost
through
a
his fucking
visual
mouth.
gaseous form seeping out from his mouth. And like you're getting like hit with like spittle and bits of food and stuff that are like coming off his teeth. As he looks and says, "No more trick, food now." And he like he looks around at the rest of you and says,
Monzo's gonna like reach in and he has a jar of those mushrooms he's gonna hold out if he can.
and he's gonna with the other hand take the jar and put the whole thing in his mouth and crunch the jar down in the mushroom.
Oh shit!
Shit.
And Monzo does need 1 second. Andrea let a bird into our house. So
Oh boy.
What?
Oh no.
she left the door open while she went outside and a bird flew in. So I'm listening.
Okay.
So I with this I look at Simone. Hey, you think you could summon him some fucking food?
What?
Nah, fool. Look at that, Will Puto. I don't summon food, fool. I can barely do this guy right here, and I'm gonna point at Will.
What about
at the wizard to summon food, bro?
I mean, I'm talking
Yeah.
about the fucking horse.
We tried to give him the horse, fool, and as soon as he tried to eat it, it disappeared. Because as soon as the horse dies, it's like it's magic. It goes poof, fool.
Pull out the rations I have and start handing it to the guy.
Before we hand him, we don't know what's going to happen to the.
Hold on.
With the
about the
mushrooms.
Hold on. Stop.
Oh, right,
Test.
yeah.
In what manner?
I guess just before I do that, does it look like the mushrooms like have satisfied him?
No.
No. Okay. Then I'll just kind of like hold out the rations that I have to him. Yes.
If you're getting close enough to do that, he reaches out, picks you up, turns you upside down, and shakes you.
Oh.
Okay.
So the contents of your bag are falling out on the ground, whatever they are, along with whatever rations you didn't have. Are you going to drop the rations in your hand, or are you going to still hold on to those?
I'll drop them. Sure.
Okay. This giant is now double fisting your friends. One of them is upside down. What are the rest of you guys? It's still a test turn. So you still have some actions and stuff if you want to try and break yourself free of this. But I'm just checking in with the free action talky bit of the rest of your team.
Someone be like, "Hey, fool, put them down. The fuck you doing? You have to start grabbing people because they woke you up." And that would be a diplomacy. That would be a diplomacy roll.
Okay.
That is over 30,
Okay.
32.
Holy shit.
He replies with, "You have him then," and cocks his elbow back with a tusk, as if he's about to chuck him at you.
Cool.
He's gonna let him go though, 100%.
I'm gonna brace myself for impact.
I feel like I'm being about to be thrown.
And then, but Wilb is gonna. Can I have Wilb be in some sort of reflex stance?
He can do stuff on his turn. You guys are still gonna get your turn, all your moves, and all that stuff.
Okay.
But it is a test turn. He's now in the cocked back position of this giant. What would you like to do, friend? Your arms are still free. He just grabbed you around your waist.
Try to tickle him.
I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Tess will probably just say, like, hey, you don't have to throw me. You could just set me down. That would be great.
pointy ear man want you down, as he, is
Just
coughing.
down. Just down, not to the side.
He is fixated singularly on Simone's form. Thank you, baby.
Can Reed attempt a diplomacy of his own? I do have dialogue for you.
On your turn, which is next in initiative order, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Unless
So
you guys
Tess
want to
will just-
abandon initiative order and roll like we were rolling before, but at this point,
I'm just trying to
I think
get.
initiative order worked in your favor.
Okay.
Tusk will try to save his action to do an acrobatics check. Should he be thrown to like grab the giant's hand and like not have him be thrown, I guess, into his friends.
Okay.
Even if I like fall and
that's great. That's a great use of hold action. I love that.
and that'll end my turn.
Love it. Okay, Reed, you are up. Kythar's on deck.
For my swift action, I don't think it's the case, but I want to detect evil just in case.
That's a good question. I'm gonna just go off of what.
It doesn't seem like he's evil, just really stupid, which he and I might have in common. No, he's not evil. What is wrong with you, mister? Did your mom teach you to treat people like that? What is wrong with you? Put him down. Set him down gently. And I'm trying to diplomacy that.
Gently. Got a little country on us there.
Yeah, I know. Reed knows where he was raised. Never forget.
Oh.
You guys gotta wait until the DM tells you to make your fucking roll. You gotta wait.
I'm sorry.
You gotta wait.
God damn it! I thought you asked for my roll.
No, I did not, sir. You said it was.
I got a little carried away.
You said it was going to be a diplomacy. I was thinking about what I was going to respond here, but in this instance, fuck man. Then he says, fuck. What does the giant do?
You want the final total just in case?
Yeah, because it's a skill check, so your final matters.
30.
Yeah, which is as high as the DC, as high as the written DC scale goes for Pathfinder 1. So by both metrics, it's a successful roll. So the question is, would I have allowed this roll? Because I was thinking about, you know what? I'm really sorry, bud, but you need to roll that with disadvantage because giants. I will pull back the curtain a little bit. Giants don't have moms. Their moms eat their kids. So this lesson you're trying to this lesson you're trying to lean on doesn't exist in giant culture. So the giant is going to say, "My mom eat brother, I eat you." But he looks like he's rearing Monzo back to come right at Reed. He looks like he's getting ready to chuck both of these guys now. You're definitely both of the diplomacy checks to get him to release your companions are going to result in the release of your companions from the looks of things. You still have actions, Hooker. I'm sorry, Reed. I'm going by your Discord name. I'm looking at that over here.
I'm gonna brace for Monzo.
Okay.
Try and stop him from getting walloped into the ground too bad.
So you're gonna try and catch him?
Not catch him. Is he like close enough that I can grab him?
You might be able to jump and grab at his ankles. Yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay. It is. What's your goal? Are you trying to pull him loose, or are you just trying to play tug of war with him?
Trying to pull him loose so that he doesn't get just completely smashed into me. Try and free him up a little bit here.
Okay.
I don't know if you want a strength check
I'm
or
really excited. I'm
check.
really excited for this contested strength check because of everybody in this party. Reed is probably the one person who's about as strong as a hill giant. So.
Oh shit.
So let's go, bud. Let's go.
And a smart.
I'm gonna get my first shitty roll of the night. Watch.
You're
My
touching on
roll
the
was
Mazo's
middling,
ankles.
if it makes you feel better.
That's a 17.
It's literally coming down to modifiers. That was exactly my roll as well. Give me just a second.
Attacker favor?
Hold on, I gotta find his strength.
I agree. Attacker favor.
Yeah, all in
Monzo's just
favor.
drenched in sweat.
I'm sweating over
What's
here,
your
boys.
raw strength stat, Joe?
21.
21.
21.
And you tug on Monzo, and he slips from because the giant's got him like around his waist, and Monzo slips out. Monzo, are you? Correct me if I'm wrong. You're wearing one of the fancy belts. Is that correct?
Oh, geez. Fancy belt?
The fancy belt.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah,
have found a couple
Mon's-
of fancy belts at this point. I don't remember who's
I
wearing what.
I gave Monzo my old one because I also have the belt of giant strength plus 4 on.
Okay, yeah, I'm wearing one.
Reed manages to pull you loose, but the giant is still holding on to your belt. But you are free of his grapple.
I'm gonna flex in response at the giant, and then I will. I don't think I have any more actions left. Correct?
No, that's your action. You got movement,
I'll break.
but at this point you're standing right next to a giant.
Yeah, I know. I am going to take a free 5, and can I go here?
Mm-hmm. Yep, still adjacent to the giant, no problem.
Actually, before I do that, the reason I'm doing this, I want to ask: do you apply the flanking bonus?
Not yet. You'd have to stand one more to your left. You got to be opposite of Monzo, because he's the only. A Tesk doesn't count. He's being held upside down.
If Soto steps into this square,
Oh,
or if
yes,
anybody
then that would
square.
be flanking. Yes, then that would be flanking.
Yep, that's what
But
I
not
wanted.
yet.
Then I'm.
Not right now, you're not.
You're right. I'm not, but it could set them up. This is what I'm trying to do
Truth,
here.
absolutely.
So I will be done.
It's just my job to be clear, my friend.
Yeah.
Pythar, you're up. Simone, you're on deck.
Cool.
All right, Kaithar is gonna take us from 5 this way.
Becky says #1 Reed fan.
Thank you.
I
Thank
didn't
you.
know. I didn't know Becky loves supple young boys.
The supplest of the youngest boys.
Okay.
Oh man.
But yeah, Kaithar moves. Kaithar moves here. Wow, I have my full movement, right? I got
Yeah. That's why we rolled initiative, because I wanted to give you guys the full gambit of your combat stuff.
All right, I'm gonna go this way.
Becky says no longer a fan.
Pull up. Pull up.
What? Oh, yeah. Let him go, you brute! Is all he yells.
I'm gonna look at Kaitha. Hey, but I think we're past that. I think we need to start just beating the shit out of this dude.
I would no longer throw the first stone. As a
Would you
recovered
like to hold your
alcoholic,
action?
I will love to hold my action. And
And I need a specific trigger for that.
that will set it off. If he tries to grab me.
So if this giant tries to grab you, you're going to attack him. That's what you're holding your action for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Simone is up. Sigbert's on deck.
Cool. Let's see here. So it's 5-foot increments, right?
Yep.
5, 10. Is it just 10 to get to him?
From where you are, you'd have to go through Will. Or for Will.
No, for
5,
Will, yeah.
10.
Because he's size category large, right? So he takes up more than a 5-foot square.
Yeah. He's taking up effectively these squares. Him and Reed or him and Kaithar are sharing a square a little bit. But yeah.
So then 3, 5. No, I'd still have to move up one more, huh?
You go here and be adjacent.
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering. I was trying to see if I could get away with it. 3, 5.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
I
use
think-
at least 5 feet of your movement.
Okay, I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I think I have to anyway if I'm gonna use a pounce.
Yeah, because you have to
Um,
move 10 feet as part of. You have to run 10 feet as part of your pounce. I want to say. Like,
yeah, so
minimum
5,
distance.
10. Yeah, so that works out perfectly then
Yeah.
as minimum
Yeah.
distance. All right, so I'm gonna do a pounce. I'm gonna do first 2 attacks.
Ooh, low rolls.
Low rolls.
What's your 5?
Flanking bonus?
5 is a
Flanking bonus.
6.
That's only 1 attack. That is
Six.
your first attack with advantage. So what's your final for the 5?
16.
Does not hit, but go ahead and roll 2 more times for your second attack with advantage because Reed is flanking. Good call out.
Oh.
That 19 for sure hits with Will's modifier.
Yeah. So just one then. Just one hits then.
Great. Roll your damage.
All right, and that is. Oh man.
Minimum.
4
on the
4
raw damage, but then he
damage.
gets his elemental damage.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Plus 8. So 4 plus 8, so 12 damage.
12 damage. And what are his elements again? Please remind me.
Electricity and fire.
Cool. I don't think this dude's got a resistance to any of that stuff. Let me double check. No, he does not. So full damage as sparks of electricity and bits of flame and charred flesh fly off of the leg of the creature that Will has pounced on and is beginning to tear away at.
Nice. Simone, on the other hand. He's gonna go, "Hey fool, just drop my friends where they're at, and we'll leave you alone." And that's a deal. And that would be a diplomacy. Let me know.
At this point, every diplomacy check is with disadvantage, just because of where you guys.
That's fine.
At, but go for it.
Okay. Okay. That is a 31.
And he says, "I am putting them down now. Small man, take one down already." Caps lock. It's his turn, so he can't actually take any actions, but he's trying to tell you that he's putting them down.
Simone then is going to hold his action in response to Atesk or Monzo being thrown at him so he can move out of the way.
Love it.
Yep.
Nice.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
Sigbert is up, and then Monzo's on deck. The baddie rolled a natural 1 for his initiative.
Nice. Good.
that was all the wows and the stuff I was reading. I was like checking his initiative modifier. I was like, is it good? No, of course it's not good. Giants aren't dexterous, so no, it's not. But Sigbert, you are up, and Monzo's on deck.
I'm going to use my free 5.
Yep, you're good. And you can even sit a little bit back because the giant is big.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna I'm going to
Keeping us in suspense.
I'm gonna hold my action and basically I'm gonna hold my attack to if he just basically starts to get aggressive in any way, shape, or form. Like if he starts attacking anybody
If he attacks any of your party
around.
members, you're going to use your reaction to attack him.
Yeah, well, like just mainly like Monzo, if he reaches to try to grab Monzo or like Reed or just in the immediate vicinity or Will, um, Kythar, I'll give him an attack.
Okay. Sounds great. That will stay in
Okay.
effect until your next turn.
Let's do that.
Monzo, you've recently gained your freedom but lost your belt, so please unequip your belt of giant strength if you have it equipped, or make sure that you've notated your strength scores back down because of not wearing it. But you are free and you are not grappled. What would you like to do with your turn, sir?
I'll walk over and I'll stand underneath a desk and like hold my hands out for a smooth, a soft landing.
And as a reminder, Atesk is kicked back in the elbow of this guy, like football stance, looking like he's about to get chucked.
How high up is he?
Giant is, I don't know, how tall are giants? They're like 10 feet tall, so he's probably 8 feet off the ground or more, something like that.
Yeah, I'll jump up and wrap my arms around a desk.
Okay, with what goal?
If a desk is thrown, I'll use I'll like be on the receiving end of the ground. Like I want to meat shield it if I can. And I figure with the both of us, he won't be able to throw us as far if he does decide to throw.
So you're essentially digging your heels in.
On a task, yes. I'm like jumping up and bear hugging a task.
Got you. Okay, I guess I don't need a strength check because if you're not touching the grave, you're just trying to add weight to him, then you got it. Remind me how much Monzo weighs.
300 pounds.
I was gonna say, have you seen this guy eat? He's a tank.
Yeah, but he's not super tall. He weighs 270.
Okay, sounds great.
So Monza's a chode?
The giant, if you guys are done, is in the process of, as far as the giant is concerned, setting a Tesk down. Letting him go, I guess, would be probably a closer to apt description. So he is going to roll a strength check, which I guess I can do in the deal.
Yeah. You can toss him.
Oh yeah.
And is he wearing my strength belt now? Is it on like his forearm?
No, he just has it clasped in the other hand.
Oh, okay.
And he does in fact chuck a task, and what he's going to do is he has a specific throwing attack, but he's going to make that with disadvantage due to the added weight that Monzo is creating here.
I'm doing my part.
I held my action to.
Oh man! Wow! Talk about not mattering. Yeah. So on that natural one on the attack, he like goes to throw, but he like completely he was trying to throw a Tesk, this relatively scrawny dude, and he had like already let go of him by the time Monzo had grabbed on. Like it's like I made the football analogy earlier. It's like straight up like a ball swatted out of the quarterback's hand, like straight up backward fumble as they both like tumble back almost over his right shoulder. And both collapse onto the ground. Please roll me reflex save, guys, to see if you land on your feet. Monzo, you can roll yours straight. A test, you need to roll yours with disadvantage because you're upside down.
In his clumsiness, does he drop the giant's belt?
No, he did just drop his weapon, which are the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
That is a bummer on the disadvantage there, friend. Test, what's your final?
8.
It's an 8. A Tesk lands prone. Monzo does land on his feet, though. the giant locked, and when I unlocked him, he.
Yeah.
So you guys have now fallen kind of behind the giant. Sigbert went flying off the map somewhere. Do you guys see him? I don't even see him. I'll just make a new one. That's funny.
Do a death row, please.
He's right
Do a
there.
death row.
He's right there.
Oh,
I
you
brought
found
him.
him? Great. Awesome. Thank you.
He's over here.
Yeah, we'll just move him up because he was in attacking range. Yeah, so let's put him in attacking range. Great. So there's a whole pile of compatriots around you. This guy has tried to throw, totally fumbled, totally missed it. We're back at the top on initiative order, which brings us to a task. Crumpled mess on the floor.
Get him, boys.
So real quick, so Monzo's going to say, now that we're free, maybe we can have Will distract him and we can all just run away. What do you think, Atesk? Or what were you going to do?
So I'm picking my shit.
Well, that's
And then, yeah, I'm down
to.
to run away after that.
Yeah, I mean, or maybe we could do some sort of distraction. He's just looking for food and he likes throwing things, so.
What if Will pretends to be a tasty treat?
Hey, fool, you look more like a tasty treat than Wilb does.
Pull up your skirts, Reed.
I'm gonna bang my chainmail.
Teach him what supple really means.
Oh my god. A-test, Jesus. Either way, fool, if we're gonna get away from this, I can have Will distract him. Puto's gotta be fast.
Kythar just takes off running.
He's already gone.
And the
I
three
know
of
there's,
those.
there's a smoke cloud in the shape of Kython where he once stood.
I say, and be like, run in the direction we need to go, fool.
Am I going the wrong direction?
You're not even moving yet, so.
Well, I think it's still a test.
It's still a
Yeah.
test turn.
Yeah, so Atesk will stand up and pick up
One
all his
movement.
stuff.
It's one movement to stand up. You can
Yeah.
take your
Can I
5.
pick it up while I'm on the ground?
100%, yeah.
Can I get to it all?
You can get to. Yeah. You weren't that far off the ground. You can get to all of it. But it will
Okay.
it will probably take you more than 6 seconds to pick it all up and put it in your bag.
Okay.
You can pick up to 1 item a second. You can pick up to 6 items to put it back in your bag with your standard action. Which I think is quite generous from a DM's perspective.
Good thing I don't have that much stuff. So yeah.
Generous.
Okay.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you give me a turn?
No, Arthur, I didn't give you a turn. No, I did not. I totally missed you in the initiative order. I goofed that in a big way. What was your final, friend?
7.
7. Okay, good news is you were only right before Monzo. So you're good there. And really the only important thing would have been if you had taken a shot. We're going to retcon a little bit, roll us back. Arthur is perched behind this rock, musket out, muzzle pointed at this giant. What's Arthur doing with his turn?
Like Sigbert, if the giant gets aggressive, he'll hold his action. This will make it easy for the retcon. And pretty much wait for an opportune moment. The goal is to try and give some big, loud noise for the giant to possibly be stunned. So, but he'll aim for the giant.
Okay.
And that's all he's going to do.
Cool. I do appreciate you keeping me honest. Thank you very much, friend. We're
problem.
back at Atesk, who is gathering up items while still prone. So if you want to stay prone, you can collect 12 and use both your actions. If you want to stand up, you can only collect 6.
Yeah, I don't even have that many things on me.
Cool.
So really only 5 things would have fallen off my person that weren't affixed
6,
to
so
my
yeah,
body.
100%. You pick all your shit up and stand up, presumably?
Yeah, and then that's it. That's all I got.
That's it. That's 6
Okay,
seconds.
then I'll be like, yeah, I'm down to escape, and then yeah, that's it.
Cool. Brings us to Reed. Kythar's on deck.
I am gonna hold both of my actions for the distraction so I can run.
So you can run. So you're waiting for the distraction to then use your action to flee combat.
Yes, because that's what was established, right?
Sounds right.
Will was gonna try and distract him.
Doesn't matter what was established. What matters is what Reed thinks was established.
Yep.
Great. Kythar, you're up. Simone's on deck.
I ask Simone, what direction do I run?
The direction we need to go, fool.
Can you just point your damn finger?
And I'm gonna point in the direction we need to go.
That's you guys came from this way, so you guys are heading this way here.
Yeah.
Down the road.
Perfect. I hold my I'll hold both my actions. When everybody starts booking it, I'm right beside them.
Cool. Sounds great. And brings us to Simone. Sigbert's on deck. After that.
All right. I finally get to use my new spell.
Somebody
Okay.
cue the Benihana theme
Let's hear it.
I'm going to use Evolution Surge on my Eidolon, which allows me to allocate 2 more evolution points to him, which I'm going to assign the new size category of large
Okay.
for 6 minutes.
Okay.
So he is now the same size category as the giant, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, be like, hey, you wanted a snack? You got your snack, fool. Basically giving the hill giant what he thinks is a snack. And then
Go for it.
and then Simone's going to take his movement. 35.
We're
5,
going which way again?
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then Wilb, because he has reaches now 10 feet, is going to make it his attack.
Yep.
All 4 onto the giant.
Give it a go.
All right. Let's give 2.
All with advantage.
Cool. Lowest would be.
No, I want the highest because you're rolling with advantage. So that's one attack. The 6 and the 10.
Oh,
So you're taking
sorry.
the 10.
That's a 19.
19 does not hit.
Okay. And. Oh, for sure that 17 hits
17
then.
hits, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So just 1 then.
Okay.
Hits.
You're only using 2 attacks?
Oh, I did 4. I rolled 4 times,
You're
right?
rolling with advantage, so every 2 rolls is only 1 because you're taking the higher of those 2. So the 6 and the 10, you took the 10 for the first attack. The 2 and the 17, you took the 17 for the second attack.
Oh, gotcha.
I need 4 more rolls from you.
Gotcha. Fuck yeah. All
You're
right,
taking
11. Yeah. And yeah, that's oh fuck, that sucks.
So two attacks hit, looks like.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
And
11 turns
then
into a 20, is that right?
yeah.
Okay.
That's
Double nat ones.
yeah. Not good. It's a 6. It's a 6, 7, 8.
8 on the rod,
And then
elemental
eight on-
times 2.
No, this is including the elemental times 2 here. Plus 10, so 22. And then 1 more because it's
Okay, I'll let you just give me your final. It's a lot of numbers.
22, then 23,
Math rocks.
29.
29 damage.
Damage. He's gonna swipe him once, and give him a big roar that like shakes the ground. He is size category large now for Rocket.
Yeah.
At least for the next few minutes.
And then
Yeah, exactly. Then he's back to a puffkin. And that would be the end of Simone's turn.
Great. The hill giant is now bloodied, and Sigbert is up. Arthur is on deck.
Oh, he is bloodied.
He's bloodied. Yeah.
Oh.
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 Get him, boys!
And
We're just gonna murk this guy.
and I've noticed, like, I don't see any, like, electricity coming off this puto either. I don't think he's elemental.
Am I still in range to hit? He didn't move, did he?
No, he didn't move. You're still in
The
range
giant?
to hit. You're still in range to hit. Yeah.
Everyone's turning their guns.
Hey, what if
Well, I mean, if I
we
can
threaten
notice
to kill
that
this
he's
guy in
bloodied,
case
I'm gonna-
unless he
I'm gonna-
Oh, God. It's hard to hear when two people talk at once.
It's
Sorry, yeah,
Sigbert's
go
turn.
ahead, Chris.
Let Sigbert go.
Okay. Well, no, I'm just saying if I see that he's bloodied, that's going to give me a little more incentive to just finish him off.
Yeah, finish him
So
off.
Sigbert is going to take 2 power attacks onto the giant.
Yeah, roll him.
So the first one's going to be 22.
Hits.
And the second one.
Roll again. You're rolling with advantage. You've got because Kythar has not moved yet, so you still have advantage with him flanking. So roll
okay.
again for your 8. So you can take the 10 instead.
It'd be 19.
Just misses. So you get 1.
One.
Roll your dim dam. Thank you, ma'am.
So it would be 13.
13 damage. Fuck yeah. Still bloodied, but you basically just like stab your sword long ways straight through this giant's fucking thigh.
Oh, jeez.
And pull it out. Blood fucking sprays all over Wilb, who's already covered in blood from his own mauling. And you do some pretty good damage to the giant, who roars out in pain in response.
And I'm just gonna, as I pull my sword out, I'm gonna look back at Arthur and just kind of give him like a nod, and that'll be my turn.
I have a feeling that this is going to be similar to, like, I think one of our first few D&D sessions where we killed Kythar through the soap at the Lizard Men, and we had to bury them in like a ditch on the side of a river. And I don't know if we can. I don't know if this is a similar situation where everyone. We're gonna have to bury this giant in a ditch on the side of the road.
Oh,
We got it. It's fine.
Arthur,
Could make it look like an accident.
You've been waiting for an opportunity to shoot, and though this giant has not made an attack on anybody, I guess he did kind of when he tried to throw a task. But with the nod from Sigbert, if you'd like, you may use your reaction as a shot before you start your turn.
Yeah, totally. That was the point of holding the action, for
Take it.
sure.
Because it's about to be your turn again, you're about to lose it. But because Sigbert specifically signaled you, I think it's a good opportunity to use that.
Yeah, seeing Sigbert's nod, which thank you very much, Sigbert. That's a 20.
That's a 20, and you're within 30, so 20 definitely beats his touch AC. So, yeah, roll your damage, friend.
Rolling the damn.
Yeah, giants are really weird. Their regular AC is stupid high. Their touch AC is stupid low.
Yeah, since they're really big. 3.
3 damage. You got it. Regular shot, presumably.
Regular. Yep.
Cool. And you fire into it, and you watch it like you can almost still see the ball. Like it didn't sink very far into the tough giant flesh, but it did seep in, and there's definitely some blood.
Arthur's going to be a little apprehensive, but he's still going to probably need to load a tougher shot. So you see him load in one of the fireballs left from before, one of the incendiary rounds. So that's what he's doing on for his next go.
Cool. It's only a movement action to reload, so you can take if you're not moving, you can take your movement to reload, and then you may fire with your standard on your turn.
Yeah, that works.
Give it a go.
Hey, David, may I ask, when we're done with this giant, if we can take a break?
Yeah, 100%. That's the plan.
Cool.
16 beats this touch AC. Roll your damage. That's a much
And
better
then,
roll.
yeah, that's
To add
8.
your elemental on top of it, right?
Yeah, so I got to roll a D6.
I think it's a D6. Flat, same as Wilb's elemental stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're looking at a whopping 12 damage.
12 damage. Does bring him to death's door.
Oh shit.
Still hanging in there.
Did we see anything catch on fire?
Yeah, what's he look like now?
So he's got one of his legs and side of his torso up to about his nipple has been just like thrashed and has like burn marks and spark marks from Wilb, and slashes from Wilb going to town on it. His other leg has like a fucking hole in his thigh from where Sigbert stabbed him through. He's got one small shot in the shoulder, but another one which landed in his neck, and the incendiary effect like caught his hair on fire. So he's like screaming mad, bleeding all over the place, and is, you know what? It's kind of reminiscent of Kythar's raid when Kythar goes into rage. Honestly, like you're getting very similar vibes off of this giant here.
Hmm. Does Krythar feel like I get that, man?
Sympathetic.
Yeah. Like the one thing that Kythar gets, he's like, I understand that feeling.
Arthur, if that is it for you, then Monzo is up, and the giant's on deck.
Yeah, that's all I got. Arthur's pretty
Finish
pleased
him.
about the hair being caught on fire.
Yeah.
Monzo feels.
As a matter of fact.
Monzo feels bad. He feels like he's murdering a guy that could have been pretty cool. I think Monzo would want to grapple.
Does Monzo sympathize with the need to eat when you just wake up?
I pull out a Snickers.
Oh god.
You're not
It just turns into a normal person.
Betty White.
Shrinks down. Pew.
Shrinks down to Danny DeVito.
Yeah, go to Gunther's gun shop.
Monzo's going to try to grapple him on his leg.
Okay.
Just to restrain him.
Yeah,
Let
roll
me
a grapple
roll
check.
that. Yeah.
His CMD against grapple is fairly high. Monzo does
I'm
know
sure,
right up
but-
front this is going to be a
It's
challenge.
not ideal. Yeah, no, that's 21.
Close, but yeah, not quite. So Monzo like grabs onto one of his legs and like digs his thumb into the hole where Sigbert's sword was, thinking that would give him some extra leverage, and this giant just fucking like kicks him like a mule and just fucking like shakes him off. Like can't even see him. Face is on fire. Just responding like an animal would.
Mhm.
Do I have a attack action? Or
Not because,
was that
no,
my
because you chose to grapple. That was the same
Oh, that's
category of thing.
Monzo's done.
Which does mean that our boy the giant is up. He does look like he's going to start attacking some bitches, but I think everybody switched their reactions from waiting to attack to waiting to run. So if I remember correctly, we're not triggering anything by that. Is this correct?
That sounds right.
Okay.
Yep.
And the hill giant, dumb as he be, is going to deal with the biggest threat that he perceives, which is this giant fucking cat thing in front of him. So,
Hell yeah.
for the first time in combat, he is going to take a real attack. He does get 2 of them, just like many of you do as a basically pure martial.
So we kind of conversated with this guy and just slowly beat the shit out of him.
Kind of.
Wasn't so slowly.
That is 12 plus 14. So that's 26 on the first shot and 27 on the second. I think. If I can do math right.
Second shot hits.
Second shot hits. Great.
Mhm.
Then, holy shit! Yeah, that's why. Right. Great.
2d8.
100 damage.
Plus a huge modifier. 14 damage against.
Oh, nice.
Will. Yeah, lucky low rolls there.
Mhm.
I looked at the damage. I was like, oh shit, really? But we're cool. So that's his full attack action. He's just swinging blindly at Will with all the force and the might he has. Too distracted and unable to see, he does not land the first blow, but more out of luck than anything else, does find purchase with the second as he, slams his fist down on Wilb's back and just kind of slams into him.
Question.
Yeah, go.
Since his hair's on fire and he can't really see, would he lose his dex bonus?
I think it's cute you think he has a dex bonus.
Damn it.
And he's done. A Tesk is up, and Reed is on deck.
Kick his ass, Seabass.
Fireball.
Going to take his free 5 foot.
Oh.
Which would normally
And then-
provoke an attack of opportunity, but this giant's very distracted and cannot see properly, so we're foregoing those right now.
He's clearing the blast zone.
Yeah, and I'm going to take 15, 20 feet back. And then I'm going to cast fire. No, I'm just kidding.
TPK.
Really?
Nobody but Tyler. Tyler survives, looking across the sea of melted corpses, making eye contact with Arthur hiding behind the rock across the way.
I know. I could see that where we go through this whole big old ordeal for Tyler, and then he just kills us all and takes our shit and leaves.
Yep. He has 3 giant strength belts on.
How strong I am.
Is what Tyler was thinking.
I know. Carrying around
No,
all.
I
actually
got a
going
reverse
to.
course.
Yeah, Arthur is
Who's we
staring
now?
down Atesk. The fire, the hair on fire is one thing, but then he sees Atesk back up. Uh-oh. So you see Arthur kind of put his head down a little bit, but still have his eyes
He goes
over
into
the rock.
artillery stance, hand over the ears, head tucked down.
He's watching it with bated breath now because he's so far away.
It's like you have PTSD.
Definite PTSD.
Oh,
Hey,
fucking
I'm going to cast
funny.
magic missile.
Great. Just roll your attacks, friend. They hit a regular size target automatically. They're definitely gonna hit this fucker automatically.
And I'm aiming for the head.
Whoa,
Ooh,
3
almost
max. That's not bad.
And that's 17 damage.
That's 17 damage.
Yeah, because I get a +1 in addition to each one. So it'd be
Atesk,
an additional 4 damage.
You get the honors today of describing to us how this giant meets his demise.
Just the classic, headshot with magic missile.
Cool. As all 4 of these missiles fly up, and they go out like military missiles, they all fly out in different directions, and then they all come in on his head simultaneously at once. and the impact literally makes it explode like a pumpkin in a shower of. I'm sorry, what color are Atesk's sparks and missiles?
We'll say they're blue today.
In a shower of electric blue sparks, as this giant like does that thing where the body doesn't realize the head is gone. It all happens so quickly, and then he falls to his knees, falls to on his side, and is nothing more than a lifeless, limp corpse. We're going to take our break, and we'll come back in about 10 minutes, guys.
Sounds good.
Cool.
That's good.
Well, that was an interesting fight.
want to check these boxes so everybody can hear everybody. All right, we're back. You guys just slayed a giant, your first. Congratulations. It is lying on the ground with what remains of its hair, melted hair, like burned and adhered to his face, twisted in an expression of pain, blood still seeping out of his chest and leg wounds, in a crumpled heap. What are you guys doing? You're back in free action. What are you guys up to? What are you doing?
Ah, shit. Did we kill the locals again, fool?
We should probably get out of here.
I
Also,
think
don't
that's a
forget your
murder.
belt.
Who took the last shot? Who was the last
Tyler.
hit?
Tyler
Or
did.
Tesk.
Blew his head
Yeah.
off.
I'm gonna look at Tyler. I'm all, why'd you, at A test and be like, why did you murder the puto?
Why are you singling me out? We all attacked him.
Nah, no, I'm just messing with you, fool.
All right. Well, we should probably get out of here so we don't get murdered by more of these things.
Which way?
Should we like move it off the road?
I'm willing to try, but it's fucking huge. What about Will while he's still so full?
Oh,
I can help Will
Large
move it.
even.
So because this is like a cliff right here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just toss it off the cliff.
it's so
Oh,
dark.
excuse me. That's up the cliff. Down the cliff is this way, but same concept. You can toss him. You can roll him off the cliff if that's what you would like to do.
Oh, it's a cliff. Oh,
Yeah.
It's not like
cliff.
the cliff you got ambushed on. It's a cliff that you can like see the tops of the trees growing down there. You know what I mean? It's a 20, 30 foot drop rather than a 2,000 foot drop. But yeah, it's a cliff.
I'll put it onto the next guy who's gonna wake up down below.
Can I do a check on him?
Like a loot check. Like
A loot check?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll me.
I'd like to
roll.
get my belt.
I think you can just go grab it, right? We're in free action now.
Yeah. You can just go pick it up off the ground.
Oh,
As can anything a task that didn't pick up already, but it sounds like he got it all. What you got, bud?
I got 8.
Oh, with a big 8, you find 38 silver pieces, as well as a large human skull hollowed out with a crude handle attached to it. It smells strongly of whatever fermented juice this guy also smells of. And you also find a round rock with a crude smiley face carved into it.
Cool.
Yeah.
He didn't have much on him. He had this cool mug though, and I'm gonna throw it to Reed.
And Reed, you catch this mug that looks like you could put both of your fists inside the well of it.
Oh,
He may
I
have,
threw it to
he may
I
have
threw
put
it to
out.
the person that disconnected.
Yeah.
I'll throw it to Kaithar then, since he's connected.
Great. Kaithar, you get this bone skull chucked at you that you can fit both of your fists inside of. It's got like a huge well. It's more of a bowl than it is a mug. It's huge.
And it smells like some sort of
Muted.
fermented.
Yeah.
You're muted, Zeta. Are you there,
Buddy,
Zeta?
we can't hear you. If you
Can't-
think we can.
This
Oh,
screen's been wonky
he's
for me too.
no, I see him. He's troubleshooting. Those are troubleshooting eyes.
Yeah,
by the
no,
way.
for
Those
some
are-
reason it,
Oh, we got you.
Hey!
Those are
no, for some reason it
troubleshooting
swapped
eyes.
it swapped my mic or audio to, or for some reason my fucking headphones. It's weird.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me before too. Any other mics and audio, I disable that
Yeah.
because
Can you guys
yeah,
hear me now?
roams.
Yes, I can
Yes,
hear you
we
now.
can hear you now, Joe.
We're hearing you.
So since we're both back and we both didn't really able to, so who gets the mug?
I was gonna hot potato it to Kythar anyway.
Yeah,
Good,
there you
perfect.
go.
So we'll say that's what happens. Reed catches it and then immediately tosses it to Kythar.
Is there anything in there?
There's like just a tiny bit of residue in there. Like you could get a couple of drops off of it if you turn this thing upside down.
Flip it back and pour it in, baby.
Back on the bottle.
Even just the few drops that you get, make it clear it's not enough for you to feel anything, but the two things are obvious to you immediately. A, this stuff is strong. And B, it is. You have drank a lot of stuff and ate a lot of bullshit, and even you don't know what the effects of this would be on your body if you drink more than just a few drops.
I need more.
Does he have to roll a Constitution check now?
No, because he only got a few drops.
Can I do a search on him? Or did Anthony do like the full search?
No, he's empty. Yeah, he doesn't have anything on him. There's the giant keg that's laying near him.
Well then, shouldn't say that. I'm gonna go pick up the keg.
And you slosh it around, and it is nearly empty, but it's got maybe a third of a skull's worth of liquid in it.
It's very precise, David.
Well, you're looking down at your skull mug, and not quite halfway.
I'm gonna take a whiff at it, see if it's the same smelly smell as the
100% the same stuff.
Anybody want a share before I drink the rest of this?
Hard pass.
It's all you there, bud.
You, man.
It smells
All
like
you.
it smells like dog shit, garbage, and week old garbage, just kind of like mixed in together. Maybe some stale vomit on top of that. That's the scent profile you get before you even put this thing to your lips. Rancid.
So it smells like one of Mike's Reynolds.
No, man, even worse than that. This thing is fucking rancid. Worse than your house when we started working on it.
I'm gonna be like, hey, that's all you for whatever calms you down.
I pour a third of what's left in the keg into the skull cup and take a drink.
So that's probably like 5 or 6 mouthfuls of liquid. You bring it to your lips. You take a drink. Please roll me a Constitution saving throw. Actually, no. Hold on. Give me a sec. No, yeah, it is con save. Please.
Where's con to 3? 11.
Final of 11.
Yeah.
You have the sickened condition and immediately vomit everywhere.
It's a
Is he
projectile.
buzzed?
It's a projectile. I'm
Like
sickened.
you vomit back
projectile.
into the mug. Like you don't even get the like it touches your lips. You gulp it down, and before your elbow can drop, you're already vomiting back into the mug.
Hey, I've done that before.
Ew.
With Starbucks coffee cup.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
IRL. I chuck what's left in the mug or whatever. I throw it back into the mug. It's like, well, that's rotten. Or wait, am I buzzed?
What was
Yeah,
your
go back.
first clue?
Is he buzzed?
Yeah, going back to how am I fucked up or is I just sickened?
You're just sickened, but you do feel a slight head change, despite the fact that this stuff was literally only in your body for 1 second. You feel like you feel like you drank half a beer.
I need some more.
So you're like back on it. You're like, hell yeah.
I'm back on the wagon.
Right. Do we
No,
watch
wait, I
it
fell off.
again?
No, I fell off the wagon. I'm stumbling.
So you're fiending.
Oh, I'm fiending now. I was like, I just want better shit.
You're over here drinking hooch, troll hooch.
Is there any berries around that we can ferment?
And while you're sickened, you take a -2 penalty on almost everything. I'll post that in chat.
All right, yeah, my turn.
It's free action. Everybody's good to do whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna. I guess Wilb's gonna start trying to roll the giant down the hill. Oh, he's gonna pat out the fire first.
Fire's out. Fire was just
okay.
Because I'm lazy. He has melted hair stuck to his face instead.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a hand.
Yeah, if enough of you guys are willing to go in on this, no rolls required. You guys combined have
Yeah,
the strength
going in.
Yeah, I'll
to
help as
move
well.
this guy and to at least topple him off the ledge and have him, thump, 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 like fall and roll probably like 50, 60 feet off the road, like 30 or 40 feet in like a angle
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. As long as it's off the road, that's really all that.
Yeah, he's off the road. You'd have to look for him to find him.
Okay. There you go. That's all I care about.
Cool.
I'm gonna pat my hands together and just be like, "Well, I take care of that, fool." And I'm gonna start walking down the road.
Cool.
I'm following.
Talking is always free, and you guys are in for at least a couple hours of uneventful travel. So, talking's always free. Anything you guys would like to discuss during your travel day here?
Oh, you just hear Kaithar on the traveling.
Arthur wants to see what that liquid will do to like a rock or the ground. Now that he's curious what happened to Kaithar.
You pick it up and you almost gag just getting near it. How Kaithar put this in his body, you have no idea. And you pour some of it on a rock and onto the ground, and you don't notice it doing anything to the rock or the ground, but you do notice it has kind of a sludgy consistency.
Got it. With Arthur's observations, he observes and takes note of it and hands it back to the elements back to Kaithar. With almost gagging in the process.
Thanks.
No problem. Just a little experiment.
I'm gonna be like, "Why, Kaithar? Why'd you have to take a bite, fool?"
I was curious.
You know what they say? Curiosity killed the cat.
Well, curiosity almost killed the barbarian, so.
Unstop this. And I'll look at my hands. Just be like, but I shouldn't. And I'm gonna look at Simone when I say that. I shouldn't, right?
Nah. Let him deal with it for a minute. He deserves
We'll
it.
sleep.
Walking away.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
Simone back here. Or not Simone, Kaithar. All you feed me are puppets.
I need nourishment. Oh, funny.
I'm gonna be talking to Reed, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Reed, you're like, you're so young, right? What age were you when you joined the church?"
I didn't really join the church. I was kind of picked to be a part of the church at a young age. I don't know. I never knew who my parents are. We don't have familiar connections.
What do you mean by you were picked?
The Church of the Temple of Iomade selects those from the community who they believe will be worthy of serving Iomade.
And what at like 5 years old do they think you could contribute to Iomade? No,
It has
very
to.
cool.
It has to do with our parents' lineage and our heritage as Chilaxian people. Um, this is Iomade herself was once mortal and was Chilaxian, and we are a small community of Chilaxian people, and she picks those who she believes will be best in her church to carry out her will.
Well, she doesn't sound very chillax, if you ask me.
That's not funny, man.
I'm so happy about that one.
Anybody else making it a point to have any other conversations during the travel day? Or do anything
Monzo-
else? Look at anything else? I mean, it's free time. You just got to keep moving. Monzo?
Monzo's gonna look at Sigbert and say, "God, I just feel bad that we killed him. He seemed just confused. He was startled. He woke up. I just feel bad. What do you? Does it bug you at all?"
Not really. I've unfortunately have taken a lot of life in the past. So a giant that decided to try to throw a bunch of us wasn't that big of a deal to me, I guess. But I'm
Yeah,
sorry you feel that way.
just growing up, I always thought I'd be one of the good guys in helping people, and are we the bad guys?
Are we the baddies?
I mean, I don't really think there's good or bad. I mean, was that giant good or bad? I mean, he just seemed like you said, we just woke him up. He was just upset he was woken up.
Well, now
So,
he's dead.
oh, is that good or bad? I
I
mean,
don't know. You gave me a lot to
it
think
depends
about.
on what. I mean, did giants have like a heaven? Because then if he's dead, it would be a good thing, right?
I don't know. What do you think, Reed?
And Reed, you overheard Sigbert saying, like, was that giant good or bad? And you do know the answer to that.
I don't know if he was good. I just know he wasn't evil, to be fair.
That's fair. You were asked a direct question from Monzo.
What was the direct question? I didn't hear that it was me. What do I think about?
Do giants go to giant heaven?
Is there a giant heaven? Can I give you a knowledge religion check, David?
You absolutely can.
Make sure really fast.
This is going to be canon.
Of course, it's going to be canon. That we're literally telling a story together, and I'm milking all of these experiences as part of a world building to have a setting to be able to write whatever fucking fantasy bullshit I want in. So
That is a
yeah.
17.
That is a 17. The study of other religions is something that was a part of Reed's upbringing. Basically growing up in a church with access to the only kind of books that a church library would want to keep. And so that most, I described this as like a centaur, but inbred. And so that these kinds of like naturalistic creatures, like they don't really, like, you have to be smart enough to worship something and to keep traditions and like keep a record of your religion and stuff, and like most of these kinds of giants are just not capable of that. That the elemental giants have their own belief systems, hierarchies, and most of their religion relates to their respective planes. A frost giant would worship anything relating to the plane of cold. The fire giant would worship anything related to the flame dimension. That kind of thing. But these guys probably not smart enough to have any kind of philosophy like that.
So do we have an inclination of what they actually think of the afterlife based off of interactions with them?
No, because no hill giant has ever sat for an interview.
Okay. I'm gonna look at um. Who asked the question? It was
Monzo did.
Monzo. I'm gonna look at Monzo and be like, yeah, they're not really smart enough to know if there is a heaven or hell or afterlife. Because you
They're
asked if
too
there was
dumb
heaven.
to know.
That's right. And let's be honest, I'm just barely right up there with them. Just barely. Like,
See, and that's my whole point.
no,
Monzo
they.
just like furrow his brow. Deep thought.
What do
And
you
that'll
think
be all.
happens? What do you think happens, Monzo?
No, I think I think we just killed something that was just going about its business. It wasn't evil.
Definitely wasn't evil. I didn't get those vibes off of him. He's
And I
he
think
was.
giants do have they go to giant heaven. I think.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad. Maybe I'll pray and ask. See. I'll check up on our pal. I'm gonna pat Monzo on the back.
Yeah. Thanks.
I love it. This is great. This is why I don't just let you guys fast travel from point A to point B, because I live for these little moments. So you guys continue on. Unless, I'm sorry, is there anybody else who wants to have any other conversations before I do a little bit of narrating?
No.
As you guys continue on, you. Oh, I guess I need a marching order from you guys. So if you guys would set yourself up on the map in your marching order for me, then that would be great. You guys were interrupted shortly after your lunch your lunch was interrupted by the first giant, which took your horses. You were on the road for a few hours before you came across this most recent giant, whom you were all able to slay, who Monzo is having this internal struggle about, having these philosophical discussions with the rest of you. And you guys travel for, the rest of the day, and just before you start to think about setting up camp, there you come across a point in the road where there's just a huge scorch mark, just like right in the middle of the road, just like a big, like 40-foot circle of just like ash, soot, and charcoal, just like boom. It like burned up some trees on one side, which are all like burnt up, and this point in the road is probably anywhere between 50 and 100 feet in front of you. You can just kind of see it from where you are.
Someone's gonna be like, "Ah, fuck, an elemental's around here, right?" Or listen, it could be like, wasn't there some giant putos throwing shit at each other? It could just be like,
Those were rocks.
Yeah, something missed.
Does it look like a big rock landed there?
It could have exploded.
There's like a small crater, like a small impact mark, but Monzo specifically, I think, spent some time on a watch, like watching these giants off in the distance, and I described those as, from this distance, what must have been tavern-sized boulders, and this is not a tavern-sized impact.
Gotcha.
There's still embers.
No,
how fresh?
It does not appear to be burning right
now. Can I roll a survival to see if there's any like tracks around here?
Are you going to approach it first? Because you guys are 100 feet away right now.
Tracks?
Because the answer is no. You can't come 100 feet out. You can't roll a survival check.
All right. Then Will was going to roll into stealth.
Okay.
And he's going to get a little bit closer of a look.
Okay. How close is Will gonna try to get?
Within 20 feet.
Great.
And he has a stealth roll of 20.
And what does the terrain around us look like? Are we still? Is it
You
still
guys are
cliffs
coming
on
down
either?
off the mountains, but you're at low enough elevation now that like trees and shrubbery have started to take over again. It's obvious because you guys can see kind of a vista of the valley that you're heading down into. You can see that to your right, in to the west, because you guys are heading south. So to the west is the oh shit, what I call it? Turtle Sharks Bay, I think is what I called it. A big bay, a big body of water.
Mm-hmm.
These mountains are behind you. The Stillwater Basin, you can see off to the distance in your left as you're descending down here. That's to the east. Up against that is another mountain range, which are basically the mountains that, like on the other side of those mountains is Irigan, where you guys started, and then. Uh, I'm sorry, I forgot your original question. I just started describing stuff.
Like no, that's what I asked. I was just asking. Like, is it like a narrow pathway? Is it more of like a hilly forest area?
It's like a hilly forest area, somewhere between. Like I said, there were cliffs a couple hours ago. So and keep in mind this is it's like jagged and unnatural. It's not they're not like all 100% shelf roads. There were like weird like spikes and things coming out of the ground. But that is all starting to like level out the farther down you get. So yeah, I would call it like hilly terrain with decent tree and shrub cover. And it's an old abandoned road. Like it's obvious that what you guys are traveling on was at one point a road, but it's also obvious that you guys are probably the first people to travel on it that wasn't a fucking giant in decades.
Hell yeah. Setting records.
Okay, cool. So Will was going into stealth. I think Monzo would be watching the tree line for movement.
Great. Roll me your perception check, please. Wilb is creeping forward. What's everybody else doing?
I think a Tusk would probably walk around and intermittently cast Detect Magic.
Which is a
Like out to
30
the
foot
side.
cone or a 60-foot cone?
I would love to tell you what that is.
27.
I would love to hear it.
While you're looking that up,
60 foot.
60-foot cone. Great. I will get to you a task. Monzo keeps his eyes and his ears open and he's focused on the tree lines. And as he looks through, he sees what look like this. Like there's more evidence of burning in the tree line. And as he looks, it's weird because it's only one side of a tree on one side, but then and then the other side of another tree, and it's almost like a chain of these burnt trees and shrubbery kind of linked together as he's like looking through, and he can see multiple of these chains of burnt linking together, almost like crisscrossing through the trees.
So I'm picturing like a pathway through the trees, and every 10 feet, like there was like some sort of explosion. Is that what I'm
No,
seeing?
there is a path through the trees, and if you walked through that path and held your arms out, everything you came into contact with would result in soot on your fingers.
Got it. So it's like a perfectly carved path.
Perfectly carved isn't quite right because because 27 is a crazy high roll. Some of the trees have like obviously regrown where some of these like damaged areas were, while others are have none of that regrowth. So there's like different.
Seems old.
Some of them seem older than others. Yeah, that's the gist you get.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'll nudge the professor and point and say, "Do you see that down there? It looks like almost like a pathway they use. Some of it's older and burnt, some of it looks newer."
Yeah, I see what you mean. You want to roll a survival check?
What for? What are you checking for? Also, an important detail that I forgot to mention, Monzo, is that all of the soot and scorching that I am talking about, I said if you hold your arms out, it only goes about that high, like 4 or 5 feet off the ground. Nothing's really scorched higher than that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking for the last creature that may have been around. So we're looking for what may have been here last.
Cool. Roll me a survival check. Absolutely. It's a skill check, so I need your final, including your modifier.
Well, it's 7 altogether.
7's not great, but it's better than 1. You look around and you find you're unable to find any tracks or anything truly identifiable, but you do find one of these trees that has some of the bark is missing off of it, as if it were scraped off.
I communicate that to the party about the bark that's been scraped off. Looks like there's more than just scorched earth going on.
I don't know what this is, but we have to be careful.
Which reminds me, Wilb is in stealth and at this point has crept up to about 20 feet away from this mark, and I'm assuming that at this point Wilb would like to do a check of some kind.
That is correct.
What would Will like to check for?
You would like to. You were doing a perception check for just looking for the actual creature itself.
Gotcha.
Uh, 13.
He does not see or hear any kind of creature actively here, but what he does see is that there is a like one of the like now that he's closer to this spot of soot, two things stand out. One, it is almost perfectly round. And the second is that there's like a smudge or like a streak through it. If let me do this. If it's a perfect circle, there's like a line running through the far end of it. Wilb is on the X, and so there's like a streak, or as if something was moved through or was dragged through the space, or like it's some of it's disturbed. Most of it isn't, but this line here is.
Gotcha.
But no sign of the creature.
I'll report what you just described to me to the rest of the party. And I'll just include, I'm like, yeah, and that fucking has that line in the middle, but Will doesn't see the creature. Doesn't see anything, actually.
Could this have been Saltwing?
At this point, it could be. I guess we're like getting kind of close, right?
You guys are within a few days' journey.
Which would imagine we're within his influence.
Yeah, but why would he be walking around on the forest floor? Isn't he looking for he's looking for other pieces of armor? Why would he?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe one of them's out here.
Well, I guess one is.
I mean, before we got here.
Oh.
So make it 2,
You know?
1 + 1 is 2.
That's right.
So I guess we'll just keep continuing on then. I'd be like, I think we should like keep walking and see if we can find another place to camp.
I'd say we should try to stealth, get down low and go quiet, but didn't go so well last time.
No.
Who looks at Kythar?
Who then looks at Reed?
We got it this time,
All right.
bud.
So we continue on.
So we continue on then.
You guys head up the road, and over the next hour, find more and more of these more and more often. Over the course of an hour, you find 3 or 4 more spots like this. Monzo keeps his eyes on the trees, and sees, more of those streaks, more of those paths through here as well. And it is obvious that whatever created this, it's not a one time, one space type thing. They're being found repeatedly up this stretch of road. Not always right in the middle of the road. Sometimes they're off to the side. In one instance, you can see where a bunch of, it looks like, it does look like there is, and this stands out to Arthur in particular, and Sigbert, who are able to tell that, like, one of these areas kind of off the side of the road, there's like tree stumps that are all like burnt and singed and stuff, but you can tell by the way the limbs are snapped and broken of the trees around there that that was like an impact of some kind or an explosion of some kind, very much like traditional artillery would create.
Arthur will
Are
share
we
his concerns
walking?
with the party.
Has my
Our-
detect has my detect magic noticed anything
Nope.
on our?
It's all coming down mundane, 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 mundane.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
Okay.
Just gonna keep it up.
only an insane person keeps doing something and expects different results. So Stover's gonna express his concerns to the party.
Yeah, I thought I heard Sigbert speaking up too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, could this be some type of battlefield? If because I was gonna say these look to be artillery marks, and I was gonna suggest that to Stover.
Arthur is in complete agreement and is on the alert, looking for potential high points or redoubts where different batteries could be hidden.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, and we'll call that your moving perception check as you guys are moving through the space.
You got it.
I'm kind of carrying Monzo's roll through this as well for his tree line looking.
21.
21. Let me note that here.
That's a good roll.
Thanks.
Tree line, redoubt. So as you're traveling through here, naturally, as an artilleryman, you know, it's kind of like the assassin never sits with his back to the door. The artilleryman always has his eyes out for high ground, the most advantageous spot to set up a cannon. Just years of conditioning. And so you look very closely at these areas as you're coming through them, and you don't see any cannons, but all of them, every single one of the most advantageous places with the best views, most defensible spots, all of them are burned. But only from about that 4 or 5 foot mark down, and the trees above that are fine, with the exception of those places that look like there have been explosions. But there are none of those on these high points. Only burn marks.
Okay. I'll communicate with the party. They may be using different types of ammunition, which
Have
may
you
not
ever
just-
seen ammunition that does that, where it only burns from a few feet on the ground?
We were pretty traditional in the Navy. We only used something that was akin to a shotgun.
That sounds like it could be some sort of like precision. Maybe a dragon.
That'd be bad news if it was a dragon. But as far as artillery goes, maybe some magician material where it can do some kind of air burst. But typical round shot wouldn't do this kind of stuff.
I mean, beg your pardon, Professor, but like, if it's like anything like the artillery we just dealt with at the orc camp, I don't think they have that type of ammunition.
I hear you. Just trying to compare the observations to potential.
Monza's going to say, Simone, do you see anything in the air?
Uh,
You
I'll-
said it could be a dragon.
I said it could be a dragon that could have done that. I guess I'll look up. I'll do a perception check up.
I will save you the check. The skies are clear.
I'm like, no, I don't see one right now. Why?
Well, that's good.
What time of the day is it?
You guys are thinking about setting up camp, so 5, 6 o'clock.
Okay. And these burn marks are getting more prevalent.
Well, you guys have only been traveling through the area where these burn marks are for about an hour, but there is more than one. Yeah, they do seem at least consistent. I don't know about more prevalent, but consistent. Yeah.
I would say we just find like the most defensible spot and just like lay low.
That works for me.
If we didn't light a campfire, it'd be hard to see us.
I mean, that's up to you, fool. Are you okay with not eating your precious goat or rabbits for
Well,
one
I'd ride
night?
it. I'd ride it. We're good.
Do we see a whole dried goat on the back of Bonzo?
No,
that he
you
could
see
have given to
strips.
the giant.
Strips of jerky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Monzo's gonna voluntarily give up more food than he has to. You guys are lucky he gave up the mushrooms at all. That was
I know, right?
that was a big deal, man.
That particular.
Which ended up doing nothing.
An act of desperation, even.
What would they have done, David?
What do you mean? What would they have done?
Like, what's the point of the mushrooms? Just to eat
Weren't they poison?
Oh, I was eating them.
Yeah, Monzo was eating them. He was rolling Constitution checks and eating them, and he was passing his Constitution check, so he was doing fine. He thought they were delicious.
They were just spicy. It numbed your tongue a little bit. It'd be like you put it on the jerky, and it just makes the flavor a bit better.
I see.
It's like eating raw hops.
So it sounded like Simone was pitching finding the most defensible place to set up camp.
That's correct. And I'm like, Professor, can you like take a look around, fool?
Yeah, Arthur will roll a survival check.
Preferably not next to one of those burn marks.
17.
On a 17 for your survival check, you look around and you would have no problem finding a defensible place to camp if Simone hadn't said with none of those burn marks. The first 3 places that you reach and climb up onto, and you look around, are have these low scorch marks throughout. None of these huge discs of soot like you're finding around, and none of the third location that you find does have one of those kind of like explosion marks, like 20-30 feet out. But all of the best places to camp that are most defensible have these burn marks. The low burn marks on the trees and shrubbery, not the huge discs or impacts, with the exception of the last one.
So the third spot looks okay.
No, they that's what I'm saying. They all have burn marks on them. Every place you climb up to, you're like, I see there's a couple large boulders and a solid tree, and that cliffside kind of gives a little natural cover, and you hike up there, and as soon as you get up to look at it, it's all the low spots are burned, and then you're like, well, not the ground, not like that big patch that you found first, but like Monzo saw on all the trees, they're all burned from about the 4 or 5 foot mark down, in all of these locations. So you can,
Okay.
so you find if you want to find somewhere to camp, they're basically these kind of like out in the open spots, are the ones that are not like charred.
Okay, and Arthur will come back to talk to Simone and the party. Hey, we're going to need to limit our criteria, because every good spot that's defensible has some level of burn marks. So we can find next to a cliffside with burn marks, or we can camp out in the open and not have burn marks.
Well, what do you guys think?
Yes. I think we should do the cliffside with the burn marks.
Okay, at least we have somewhat a defense.
We need to pick our best option. And I think that's our best option.
All right, well, take us to that cliffside.
Mm-hmm.
Follow me.
And so you lead them back to that very first cliffside, the one that you thought was the best and why you checked it out first. And it's basically, it's like a small hill. Like I said, this terrain's kind of jagged and a little bit uneven, but a lot of those edges have curved out, but there's still these odd like bumps and molehills and stuff everywhere. And so you find one of these similar locations that, the trees on top of the molehill are charred and the shrubs on top of the molehill are charred, but the area around it isn't, and it has a good line of sight and is, relatively defensible.
All right. Arthur's going to start making his makeshift tent. And if he can find anything easy to trap, he'll probably start doing that too.
Okay, great. So I'm going to roll over your survival check for finding a camp, because it's the same skill that you'd use to do your trapping. So we'll say that you spot this camp, you immediately get to work on your snares, and then you walk out to go set them. What is everybody else doing?
Eating rations and getting ready for camp.
Cool.
I'm checking out the scorch mark, and I'm going to try to see if I can determine how old it is. Because you
Great.
said some look newer,
Yeah, absolutely.
some look older.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is that a perception?
I feel like this is one of those scenarios where you pitch me a skill. I would gladly accept perception.
Let me see here. Can I do a knowledge geography?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Maybe this is some sort of natural occurrence in this area. Ooh. 25.
It is, despite the fact that it is very prevalent, you cannot spot any natural reason for this to have occurred. And as you look at it, like one of those large scorched areas, you go off and you find one, and you spend some time staring at it. It like dawns on you as you're looking at it. You're like, this is the fucking size of a fireball, and you're like, this is. You can't explain any of the other stuff, but you're like, this looks like a fireball footprint. Like after seeing one in action, and having some magical knowledge yourself, it took a while, but sitting here looking at it, thinking about it, it is not natural to this geography. There's nothing that's this size. They're all perfectly round. It's not natural. And as soon as you had decided it wasn't natural, what was the alternative? And it like clicks for you, Simone.
That these are fireballs. And that this is like a battlefield kind of thing.
You cannot. You can make whatever inferences you want about why they're here. The only information that you've received from your DM is a possibility of what?
Of magic use? I don't know. Unless I'm completely missing it and everybody else sees it.
No, that's it. Sounds like to me.
Not natural.
Yeah, that's well, he said that before. It's not natural. That these are about the size of a fireball. But he also said that there was positions up on the hill that also got attacked. And so so I'm gonna relay the fact that it's to the rest. I'm gonna call over A-Test. I'm gonna be like, hey fool, look at this, and I'm kind of pointing at the ring, and I go, does this look like the size of a fireball, fool?
I'm gonna stand here and ponder it for a minute.
No roll required. That's the size of a
Yeah.
fireball.
Yeah, I think that's a looks like a fireball size. So good eye there, Smoke.
But they're like all around us.
Yeah, that's a lot of fireballs. Must be some talented wizard or maybe a specialized sorcerer.
Well, why would they be casting a bunch of fireballs right here?
I don't know. Which way do you think they came from? Kind of look around. I guess I'll do what would that be, like a knowledge survival?
I'm sorry. What are you trying to determine?
Like which direction the fireballs would have came from. It wouldn't be like a magical check, right?
You would know. You would just know that it is impossible to tell the direction a fireball comes from. A fireball is summoned on the spot. It is a sphere of fire summoned in on the spot. There is no direction to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to figure that out. Stupid idea.
There he is.
I love it. Stupid.
So yeah, it's definitely concerning, Simone. I don't know where they're why they're here. I don't, first time I think we've all been here.
I'm like stressing out right now.
I think you should just try and go to sleep. I think it's better than sleeping out there in the open, don't you?
I'm gonna kind of walk back to camp and be like, "Who's on first watch?"
We should at least do 2
I'll
people.
I'll do first watch.
I'll do first as well.
Joey, you can get some rest, Simone.
I'll do second.
Whenever Kythar and I are together, bad things happen. Somebody should go with Kythar, and then I'll go with somebody else.
Who's with Monzo?
Tyler and I are first.
And that's Kythar and
I'll go with Kythar.
Sigbert.
Then I'll go
Sigbert.
with you, Simone.
There you go.
So I've got Simone and Reed, which leaves Arthur to bring up Last Watch on his own.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is considered downtime. Anything you guys want to do, work on, look at, normal downtime activities.
Dope. I'm preparing spells.
You're preparing spells. You got it.
Yeah. Preparing the Dragoon pistol.
Okay, sounds good. So you get another 2 hours on your Dragoon pistol, which I think at this point puts you up to 6 hours, if I am keeping track correctly.
That is correct.
Dragoon. Making myself a note here on that. Then I know that we're getting towards it, guys, but I'm going to start moving you through your watches if nobody else has anything for, downtime.
Nope.
Okay. Then everyone except for Monzo and Atesk make their way to your hilltop campsite, and you are all huddled together closely, circling the wagon style. And Monzo and Atesk are perched up on a nearby boulder, staring out over the. I'm imagining you guys sitting like back to back and just like looking out over the the area around you. Anything Monzo and Atesk would like to say to each other, do, or are we just going to do our roll for perceptions?
It's been a couple of wild and crazy days, huh?
Monzo's just, you see him quietly sobbing. He's like, the troll had a soul, man.
Oh my god.
He's, like you were talking about earlier. You went to troll heaven.
Yeah, well, we're not.
Oh, eventually we'll all make it there.
Oh, well, thanks, Tess. That makes me feel better.
No
It means
problem.
a lot that you say that.
I'm trying to bring comfort to your heart, and it's it could be hard out here.
What? It can be hard out here. It's a
Yeah.
hard knock life.
Yeah, I know what you
Hard
mean.
knock
I'm
life
just
for us.
I haven't been traveling for as long as you, so I'm just getting used to it still.
I mean, I haven't been traveling very long myself, and a lot of stuff has tried to kill me in that time.
Yeah, but you're like a criminal. You've like broken out.
I-
You're on the run. You're a
It wasn't
fugitive.
a criminal act. Merely an escape.
Yeah, I just mean you've been around. I'm just getting used to the whole.
You've been around.
And now you have to.
Well, it means a lot. You really cheered me up, so thank you so much.
Well, we better keep watch, so nothing sneaks up on us.
Rolls from both of you, please.
Oof.
Good save. Good save.
Nice. Tesk, what's your final? Because I don't think it matters for Monzo there. Oh, well, Monzo's final's
20.
not bad.
24.
24 and 14. You guys don't see anything, and you don't hear anything, despite the fact that you are listening intently. You guys were having your conversation. Tess says, we better keep watch. And there's no sound of wildlife. There are no insects. It is silent out here. Like you can count the breaths of each of your party members. That's how quiet it is out here.
You can really hear the tinnitus.
I know.
I know from all of
From that
Arthur's
gun that went
fucking- in the caves, he blew out
Ball.
all you guys' hearing.
Ball.
Yep.
But otherwise, your 2 hours passes uneventfully.
Perfect.
Overlay the information to the next watch people.
Which is
That was-
Kythar and Sigbert.
That was
Yeah.
weirdly sexual.
For a moment there was
Also-
a spark.
Yeah.
Kythar and Sigbert, you get woken up by Monzo and Atesk and take their place perched on the stone. I don't know if you guys have actually ever had a watch together now that I think about it.
Am I still sickened?
You are still sickened. Yeah, you still feel terrible.
I'm gonna
You
go.
don't look good.
I'm gonna go sit by Stup and just hurl.
You feel a little better, but you're still definitely woozy and sickened.
Hey, T, you got water?
Yeah, here.
Thanks. Takes a swig. Thanks. Passes back the water sack and just like hands between his knees and just.
I think I might just go ahead and I'll take this watch by myself if you need me to.
No, no.
I can do it.
I'll power through it.
Did it at least kill the shakes?
Yeah, but something else is shaking.
Ooh.
And as I say that, you just hear my stomach.
Try to throw up away from the camp because I don't know what that could bring.
I don't know. I don't think it's me throwing up. Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna run into the bush real quick. Oh god, it's coming.
So it's quiet as a mouse, and you just hear Kythar yelling, "Oh God, it's coming!" and he's shitting his pants.
Yep. And you guys can hear not only the sound of the farting noises. You guys, it's so quiet you can hear it splattering on the ground.
Fantastic.
I'm making an entry in my notebook.
And I guess by you guys, I mean
Wow.
Kythar. I'm assuming everybody else is asleep.
Well,
Yeah.
Siebert,
I mean, with as quiet as it
Super, excuse
is,
me.
can we
Yeah.
wake up?
No, but go ahead and roll me your checks now, Kythar and Sigbert. Kythar, please remember you have a -2 for being sickened on your check.
Just
Ooh.
heyo. I'm rolling perception now.
Yes, please. What's your final, Chris?
26.
11.
Okay. Kythar is much too distracted with his own bodily functions to hear, see, or notice much of anything. Sigbert, however, hears faintly off in the distance. It's quiet, but the distinct sound of a howl. One to the north, answered by one to the south, answered by another to the south, singing back and forth to each other, distantly, quietly.
Like, is it like a
No.
It sounds like a
like a
howling. It sounds like it
canine
sounds
howl?
bestial.
Okay. All right.
That's it? All
I'm
right.
gonna. Sorry, no. Sorry, I was writing. I was writing.
Uh,
I'm gonna turn to Kythar and I was like, "Do you?" And just ask him, "Do you hear that?"
Oh, he's just gonna go like.
Kythar's got like a picture on his face that he looks like a guy off of a tiki tower. You know, who's got the face.
I hear howling to the north of us and two howls from the south. They're singing.
Oh, definitely got howling in the south for me, man.
God.
Oh, should we go wake the others?
Yeah, we should. Yeah, I think it's about the end, but yeah.
All right. Well, let them know. I'm gonna go wipe and try to go to sleep. You let them know you heard them.
God.
Yeah, take care of yourself. I'll let them know, and I'm gonna let let whoever's next know about the howling.
Arthur.
Tell them
Kythar,
to keep an ear out.
No, it's
last thing
Simone and
Steve.
Reed. You're the last. You're the last one, Arthur. Simone and Reed.
Oh,
are
last one?
next,
Oh,
are the
okay.
next watch.
The last thing Sigbert would see is Kythar ripping part of his sleeve off, and that's when Sigurd just turns around and walks away.
So I'm sorry, Sigbert. Who are you waking and what are you telling them?
Uh, whoever the next watch
Simone and Reed.
is it Reed? And
Mhm.
I'm gonna let them know about the howling I heard, and tell them to kind of keep an ear out and see if they hear anything.
All right. Thanks, fool.
Mhm.
We'll keep our ears to the ground.
Well, I would keep them up.
Nah, fool, you put them on the ground.
What?
That you can. That's how you hear everything. Anything that's walking, they make like hella sound, and you put your ear to the ground.
Well, you keep your ear to the ground. I'll keep my ear up in
You
the
keep your
air.
ear up because the howling was in the air, not they weren't howling through the ground. I don't think.
You don't know that,
Yeah, I don't know
fool.
what he's talking about.
You don't know that. Did you see them howling?
To be fair, I don't. I didn't. To be fair, you could be right.
Reed's just shaking his head.
I really hope we see wolves that are howling to the ground.
Oh gosh.
I like how Sigmund's like, yeah, maybe he's right.
Funny.
And so like, all right, fool, get some sleep, and then I'll go post up on a rock.
Cool. Simone and Reed, you guys are on watch.
For the sake of listening intently, I'm gonna forego any conversation.
Roll me your rolls, guys.
Um,
Unless
I
Simone
was
has.
I was actually wanting to do something.
Go, give it
Okay.
a go, please. Yeah.
It's my watch. I wanted to use my summoning ability to summon a bat, a dire bat.
Cool. And I just want to clarify that your spell slots will not reset until tomorrow morning. Do you still want to do this?
Yes,
Cool. Solid. Sweet. Go for it.
it's
Send
my
your bat.
it's my innate. It's one of my
Oh, it's
innate
your innates. Cool,
abilities.
cool, cool. Yeah.
Because I fell asleep, so willed went bye. So
Got you. Yeah, yeah. Makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. So I have my dire bat now.
Okay.
And I was planning on sending him over to the direction that they heard the howling from.
There was 2 directions. It was 1 to the north and 2 to the south that Sigbert told you.
What's the direction that we need to head to? South, right?
South.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send it south.
Okay. And you remind me, what does communicating with this thing look like? You guys don't have like a shared language. It doesn't have a bond. How does
it's
it
like
communicate with you? Is my question.
Probably the same way, like it's what is it, like telepathy?
Okay.
It's kind of like I send my commands telepathically to it.
So you guys do have like a version of an empathetic link then.
Yeah.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure, which makes sense because you're a summoner.
Yeah.
It's a class thing, so I'm asking you.
I understand.
Cool. So you send your dire bat up and out, and it flies off, and it's going to take a little while for it to come back.
Yep.
So you guys can go ahead and roll your checks.
Cool. And these are perception or okay.
Unless there's something in particular you want to roll a survival check for. Otherwise, if you're just looking and listening,
Nope.
they're perceptions.
24.
17.
You both hear howling in both the north and the south. First from the south, then from the north, then from the south again. And
Loud? Louder?
You don't have any
Is it
idea how
getting
loud it was the
closer?
first time. You guys weren't awake.
Mhm.
And you, so you hear this howling. Do you guys say anything to each other? Or are you sitting there in silence?
Hey, ear to the ground. Do you hear anything coming?
I heard it before you, fool.
No. Put your ear to the ground, you dork. You hear him coming closer?
I don't know. I wasn't awake for the first one, fool. Were you?
No.
How loud did it seem, though, David?
It seemed like they were. Oh, it's hard to say because it's so quiet. It definitely cut through the silence. It was not loud enough to wake your companions, but it was probably loud enough that if Sigbert wasn't asleep yet and was keeping his ears open, he could probably have heard it. Faintly,
Gotcha.
but it's like anybody listening would have been able to hear it.
I'm gonna say let's just wait till my my bat gets back.
Okay. See what your bat says.
Yep. And a few minutes later, your bat shows up and communicates to you that something is moving towards you from the south.
Hello, back. Oh fuck! Something's coming towards us from the south.
All right, should we wake the others? Get out of here.
Let's go. And we're gonna start waking up
Yeah.
our
Other
companions.
people.
Cool. And I am going to start next session with all of you guys being shaken awake from your companions on watch, and you guys can scramble and figure out what the fuck you're going to do to start our next session.
Hell yeah!
Cool.
Call. Nice call, Anthony.
Yeah.
Fun.
Hell yeah!
Well, thank you guys as always for joining.
You were trying to sneak them onto us.
I wasn't trying. Nobody was trying to do anything. You guys have all the tools at your disposal. I know what is here. I know how it's all going to be consistent. I promise.
You're trying to kill us.
It's all going to be consistent.
Kill
I
us.
promise you.
Yeah, I know.
Just
And
tell us.
he was trying to see how close can I get to these guys before I pounce.
You hear very loud howling. The howling is getting louder.
And I got you.
It's just the wind.
Oh yeah.
Smell wet fur.
I know.
Well,
I
cool,
hear
guys.
patting in the distance.
um, as always, thank you guys for playing. I'm glad that not every combat needs to be a knockdown drag out. Like this was, I like how quickly that dynamic changed from like
Yeah.
we need to sneak past this thing to like, this ain't no thing. Just like on a dime, just like instantly. Everybody's like, I prep my action to run, and then literally the next turn, it's I prep my action to attack.
He's bloodied, you say?
I was like, oh, I think Will hit him once. He's like, yeah, that makes him bloody. I was like, that makes him bloody.
Hold up.
Oh shit! Clink, 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 clink.
Oh, buddy. All right, guys.
All right,
I will catch you all next week. Thank you all for playing.
See you guys later.
Bye, all.
We'll see you.
Night,
Yeah.
everybody.
Night.
Oh, funny. Well, guys, let's take a look here. Check the viewer count. I have a sneaking suspicion it's just me, myself, and I keeping myself company because Becky left us. And that is true. So there will be no raid tonight because you cannot raid with one. But I want to thank anybody who's watching this after the fact. I know I had some weird audio stuff to start us off. This was a really fun session, and thank you guys for being here. We'll catch you later.